open up in such a big way. For her, it's always conversation, bits and pieces, and trying to shed off her off on a certain conversation. But now she looks back and she really now she tells me more things which I never knew she wanted to.
Paul, let's talk about the center and photography. When you talk about photography in Ghana, what does it mean to you?
So as I said, photography is in the beginning was for me to become a father, to provide for my daughter. It was a skill set, which again was a way for me to express myself as well. So photography, sometimes people think that just the taking of the picture is just the photography. It goes beyond that, and I have to learn it in a hard way since I've been in New York. And I think photography means a lot, and its relative is huge.
Now, is there any special meaning behind the name Decan? Because we realize that you want to name the center Decan Center. Why that particular word?
So my house, growing up, it was all about problem solving. My dad will always push, encourage me to solve problems. We had a farm in our house, like around the house, we had a big plot of land and we had a farm. So every time my dad would encourage me to solve one problem at a time, and he would encourage me to take the lead. And over the years, all of my friends knows that from even class 5, I was the class captain. Class 6, I was the school prefect. Kumaka, I was the assistant
What
school
school
prefect.
was that?
St. Elizabeth, it is in the Buakwa.
Okay.
I was the assistant school prefect. Kumaka was the school prefect. I was part of Children's Rights International, regional president. So it's always been, leadership has been part of my journey. And even in Kenya University, I was very active in Student Representative Council. I had an executive position, and my problem, always trying to solve problem one at a time. So when this project started, it was very apparent that I wanted to make it more motivational for people as well to join, to encourage people that African problems can be solved one at a time. Ghana's problems can be solved, and all of us can do it. It doesn't have to be only one person or one entity.
When you say Africa's problems and Ghana's problems can be solved, I also noticed that participation of local talent in telling Ghana's story and Africa's story has not been as much on the international scene as we would want it. How can we get more local photographers involved in telling the story as it is?
Because the honesty is most of my friends, and even with me when I started, the camera is expensive, and how do you make money telling stories of Africa? What is the conversation around that? How do you make money? That's the biggest challenge. Most of my friends, most of the photographers I engage with, the biggest question is, how do I make money off it? That's the reason why most of them do not want to do it, because if I'm not making money out of it, I could go do weddings, which easily on Saturday morning you can make a good amount of money. So I think the biggest problem is the economic reason.
Can't you do both though?
Repeat that again.
Can't you do both? I mean, you were saying maybe you can just decide to, on Saturdays, go shoot weddings. But can you just do the regular photography and then do the weddings too? Does it clash?
Yes, that is what most people have been doing. And that's the same thing I did. The weddings pays well, the events pays well. And for me, I didn't end there. I wanted to use the weddings money and the events money to do documentary. But again, if you're done with that, where do you share it? Which news agency want to publish your work? And every time we look to the West, National Geographic, New York Times, but New York Times page for African story is limited. National Geographic, you're competing with everybody. So how do an African who has never had a formal training be able to compete with somebody who has been to the best school in New York and somebody from other parts of the world? So mostly what you realize is that there's a lot of foreign photographers in Africa, because they know how to pitch stories, they know how to tell these stories, they know what New York Times wants, they will know what National Geographic wants, and it's easy for them to be able to do that. And they have the resources.
And
So for me, the reason why Decan is all about is to provide the bridge and the platform for Ghanaian photographers to be able to get there.
right, because I see from your narration that, I mean, if you're using National Geographic and New York Times, they even have, I mean, even if they're taking African or Ghanaian content, they have limited space. And there are so many Ghanaian photographers. And these outlets are foreign. So if these are the outlets that our local talents are looking at, there's no real local outlet that pays for the talent.
Exactly. You're right about that. And for me, one of the things is that we need to re-engineer our thinking about content. You know, my mother has a phone. You know, how do you convince my mother about climate change? How do you convince my mother about deforestation? You know, these are social issues. How do you know, the National Geographic has a subscription. New York Times has a subscription, which I pay $4 every week. My mother cannot pay for that. My daughter can't. The same with a lot of people in Ghana and in that part of Africa. So even if you produce the content and you give it to National Geographic and New York Times, how do Ghanaians be able to read these content? So I think that we need to re-engineer the conversation to make it Africans telling stories for Africans.
Okay.
After that conversation is done, then we can move to the West.
Africans telling stories of Africans and hopefully getting paid for it. I see the vision of Decan Center. It includes a few sections. We see there's a part that involves a modern library, a courtyard, photo and film studios, theater, gallery, event center, an outdoor exhibition yard, archival rooms, storage, classrooms, center for kids and teens, media center, and this is a huge project. What is going to go into this photo library?
You just summed it all, because for me, it's every single problem. I'm trying to solve problems. That is all I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to bring the experience. So since I've been here in New York, you know, photo libraries is so easily accessible. Galleries are so easily accessible. Media centers are easily accessible here. So for me, that's the reason why I want to do this. You know, imagine just having a media center where you can bring all great minds together for us to solve problems, for us to find a way of content distribution, for us to find a way where we can learn together. Classroom, for example, you know, I just received some of the emails. I'm going through tons of emails, people who are willing to partner with us to bring this. There's a lot of conversations going on, a lot, you know, who they see the sense. Every now and then, people's like, Black people have to tell their stories. Africans people have to tell their stories. Because you cannot allow somebody to tell your story and expect the person to give you a good narrative. And over the years, you know, African pictures has been portrayed as poverty. And again, that's the reason why my lecturer has the audacity to tell me that my country and my African pictures are propaganda and poverty. So if we're able to do this in this center, I think that it will be a huge help for the next generation. It will be a huge help for my friends. And look, my point is that let's make photography easy for everyone.
Right.
You know, my kids can come to a center and just learn. Whether they become professional or not, it can be something meaningful to them. It can be a form of therapy, you know, to them. When I was growing up, I was struggling. I used to draw a lot, but I didn't have a place to go. You know, they asked me to learn chemistry. I hate chemistry. But to my dad, it's like, you need to do that. So most of the courses I picked was to make my dad happy and also to make a living. But today, looking back, I think that I know how to draw, and visual art is my path.
And I think I like the idea of getting more people involved, because, you know, there's also the thing about the dangers of having one single story out there, because the less photographers we have telling Africa's story, the narrower the lens. But if you have more people out there telling Africa's story, then you're not just looking at one aspect or through one person's eyes. You get to see a wider variety. Now, I see that also at the time you told your story, you had some 30,000 books. Paul, how did you collect 30,000 books? And where are you keeping them?
Tough question. So it started with just buying African books. Again, I
Okay.
want my people to know their history, the visual history of Africa. One day, I'll tell you a story. I went to New York Public Library and I saw pictures of Kwame Nkrumah I've never seen in my life. Remember, I did visual arts in school. I studied KUS, industrial arts. I mean, you might expect that at least I could see these pictures in the books. I never saw that. I saw Kwame Nkrumah's pictures. I saw pictures of Ghana I've never seen before. So for me, it was like, okay, now I want to buy these African books from here and send them to Ghana so that a kid in Abuakwa or whatsoever in Osu can come in and see that, oh, this is how Ghana was. This is
Yeah.
what independence was. So that's how it started. Buying photo books. It's expensive. Those rare books are expensive. I have a book which was published in 1940 by the then governor of Ghana. It's a small book. It has pictures of Ghana back in the days. So these pictures will be important to the conversation and to help people in Ghana know, just walk through and see all these. And it also as a reference and research for a lot of people. So that's the reason why I started with that. And then I made friends with book collectors and secondhand book stores in New York. And then I became friends with everyone in the book circle. And then during pandemic, I was buying books left and right. I bought books, like 6,000 books from
Wow.
a gallery. So during pandemic, I was there alone in the warehouse, packing all the books and, shipping them to my storage unit. So currently I have about 8 storage units across the
Wow. That's big. Now, has that number increased since your story came out there? Have people reached out to give you books?
Yes, I just even got an email from National Geographic. They donating a lot of books, and there's conversation going on even on that side of how best they can come on board and help and bring. Because for me, I'm a straightforward and forward person. I'll tell you the truth that it's too far long that National Geographic has so many foreign photographers in Africa. It's time to train African photographers. It's time for us to, taking pictures of animals in Masamara in Kenya shouldn't be a rocket science. But again, I understand, it's been years of this opportunity being given to foreigners. Having these long lenses is expensive. World Cup is coming, the African Cup of Nations is coming. Other people will be flying in to tell their stories, to photograph and send it back. How do we participate? We bring Ghanaians
Get
involved. Ghanaian photographers to tell these stories, give access to them, give media accreditation. I tell you the truth. I'm eager and waiting. I will institute a policy and a program where a lot of Ghanaian photographers should be given media accreditations. Media accreditation is too far long for the process is too long.
Yeah, I think usually it's just journalists who get media accreditation and go into places. But I get that angle because photojournalists see some different angles to the issue that nobody really sees. But how can, if there's a Ghanaian trying to bring you books, how do they do that? Is it through email? Is there a place they can drop off the books?
Yeah, currently right now it's through emails. We're trying to have a center before the building in Accra or in Kumasi or any part. We're looking to rent a space in the meantime to host the books, and then we will expand it from there. So by that time, we'll be willing to ask people to donate any old books or any archives they want to keep, for us to keep for them and give it as reference to people.
I know this is a little intrusive and it might sound a little entitled, but I want to know who is on your team so far and if there's room for local content because Ghanaians want to get involved.
Oh, so to be honest with you, all my team members are Ghanaians.
Good thing.
Everyone, nobody is a foreigner.
The architects for the center?
Yes, it's a Ghanaian. It's my best friend from KUST.
Okay, because I see there seems to be a plan out there already.
Yes, it's my best friend from KUST. I put them together. I reach out to them like, hey guys, this is what I'm trying to do. Do you want to be part of it? And all of them were excited, and I put up together a team of 3 people and we've spent a number of hours drawing back and forth. I'm somebody who likes the good things. So it's been almost 5 months coming on this work alone. So all my team members, and again, I'm still recruiting. My team is not set yet.
Are there specific areas in which you would appreciate the help? Because if you say you're still recruiting, which areas are open for people to be able to take part?
Right now, I want to finish this pressure. Afterwards, I will announce it because then I'll open it up to everyone.
Right. Now, give me a moment. I'm just going to give out the phone numbers because we want people to call in, and I'm going to continue with the questions I have here for you. If you're watching us, we're speaking to Paul Ninson. He's a Ghanaian photographer. He's a filmmaker. He is setting up a project called the Decan Center, the first photo library in Ghana. He's raised some money for it. I mean, not some money, quite a significant amount of money, $1.2 million US. Of course, they're still taking donations. If you want to donate, we're going to be rolling some information on the screen, the ways through which you can get involved, get in contact with Paul. You can even call us, and then we'll put you in touch with him. We'll also leave his emails before the show ends. But here are the phone lines for you to call in. 0550-331511. There's also 020-4738-481. So again, 0550-331511 and 020-4738-481. Now, Paul, there's been a lot of conversation about where you should site Decan Center. Some Ghanaians have even made suggestions. We are owning the project for you. Some think you should site it away from the hustle and bustle of Accra. But I also noticed that one of the reasons, one of the factors you're looking at for siting was accessibility and all that. Like, what are you thinking? Where are you thinking of siting Decan Center? And what is going to inform your choice of place?
Thank you so much. The choice will depend on a lot of things. Accessibility, as you said. This project is not, the main center is not just for Ghanaians, it's for Africans, so I'm looking at places where it's easily accessible for everyone. Again, I'm looking at, because I grew up in Kumasi, I come from Kumawu. If I'm being biased, then I'll go put it in my hometown. But the point is that I want everybody to benefit from it. I want people from Leklebi, people from Osu, people from Mamobi, people from Aswanse, people from Northern Region to benefit from it. So currently my team and I, we're considering, we constantly figuring out a way that we can make this accessible to everyone. In the near future, if somebody in Leklebi or somebody in Kumasi, Aswanse, has a plot of land and think that it is a good venue for us to partner, to build something small in that place, we will do that. And, we're teaching photography, we're teaching skill, we're teaching other programs, and we'll be willing to partner with a lot of people. So land is expensive. I never knew. I think probably I was touched with reality of what Ghana currently is. Land is expensive, so we're looking at options where we have a budget. We cannot go above the budget because we're trying to raise money. So these are some of the factors we involved. I'm grateful that people are reaching out.
Yeah, but I see you wanted to site it in Accra. Is that still a thing, or are you looking at other areas within Ghana?
I'm listening.
I'm
listening to people. I'm reading comments from other people, and I think that I cannot enforce something on others, because it's for them. Yes. So I'm listening to conversation, I'm listening to you.
There's a lot of conversation, but Paul, there's been some very impressive, probably mouth-watering offers out there where land is concerned and where to site it. I have seen one offer from Pram Pram. I have also seen Pram Pram offered 2 acres. And then there's a big offer from Akuse, which is 5 hectares. Are you eyeing any of these offers?
Yes, I am.
Okay, which of them?
I think as of now, my team again, I will go with my team, what my team and the
decides.
People, I'm building board of directors, I'm building board of advisors, so this is an early stage, so,
True.
And I'm grateful for everyone who has offered, I'm really grateful and respectful of them. I've not had people saying offers, like, what is the solid offer? I've spoken to some of them, I'm listening to them and see what is out there, and then what will be if maybe probably there might be a second one, a simple one in maybe Akuse, a simple one in Pram Pram. And I'm grateful for all these people willing to partner with me. So if there's more out there, I want to know so that we can all sit down and decide what would be the best interest. And I'm really grateful that these people who have offered a place shows that they're interested in what I'm doing. And it's very, very honorable, and I'm glad. I'm glad that people are supporting in this way.
Right, Paul, I don't want to ask all the questions. There are a few people on Zoom who want to ask you questions, so let me get them. We have Anita Owusu, who has joined on Zoom. Hello, Anita. Can you unmute yourself, please, and activate your video if that's possible, and ask Paul your question? Okay, I think we're having issues with the line there. But there's Jumoni Aqua, who's also joined on Zoom. Timo Aqua, can you let us know what you want to ask Paul, please? If you can unmute yourself too there. Sorry, Timothy Aqua. Okay, great, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I want to ask for which of the cameras is best for video. I mean, video.
Which of the cameras is best?
Yes, video.
Okay, for video. I'm sure he will understand this.
Yes.
Paul, sorry, I'm not very technical where photography is concerned. All I know is I take my phone and I take pictures, and then probably take 50 pictures, and one of them looks good, and I post it. But Timo wants to find out which of the cameras is better for taking videos.
Again, it depends on everyone and what you're using the videos for. You know, whether it's professional or whether it's just a video for your family. I use Sony FX9. I use other Canon video equipment because I'm in the space and I'm making movies and films around. So it depends what your budget is. Always look out to your budget. The best camera is the one you have. You know, so it's always good to look at your budget.
The best camera is the one you have. So my phone camera is also the best camera.
The best. Yeah.
We have Jaja from Tamale who also wants to ask a question. Jaja, let's hear you, please.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jaja.
Actually, I want to speak with Mr. Paul.
Please go ahead. He can hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Paul. I'm really touched by your story and everything. And I've been planning on, I have this dream of becoming a photographer or having a profession in photography. But then, actually, one of the challenges is the startup and everything. So, when I opened to the channel, I think I missed the part where you talked about how you started and everything. So if you could please tell me how to start it up without capital or with as little capital as possible. And how the avenues to enter to, be able to grow it.
This one is a serious one. With as little capital as possible, I think it was a struggle for Paul. It was a huge struggle in the beginning. But please, Paul, let me not answer him. Please go ahead.
So you see, this is also part of the process. This is also part of what Decan is about. You know, the financial side of photography. How do we figure that out? My personal experience, people might not know this, but when I started photography, I stopped watching movies. When I started photography, I stopped. So today, I cannot watch movies for 2 hours.
Why?
I can't. Because I stopped. I just have to let certain things go to pursue my dream.
Okay.
You know, I stopped. I didn't watch movies. I wasn't playing games for the past 6 years. I've never played a game. I don't have a game on my phone. Okay. You know, I've been reading 50 books a year. Why? Because I wanted to get better. You know, to focus on it. Again, my financial issues. You know, when I knew that I wanted to be a photographer, I reduced my expenses. You know, I wasn't buying expensive clothes. I wasn't buying expensive things. I wasn't using an iPhone. For the longest time, I wasn't using an iPhone. You know, because of my dream and my pursuit, a lot of people, they don't want to sacrifice for what they want to get. I knew where I was going, and I knew that to be able to get there, I have to sacrifice a lot. I gave up my apartment to go stay with my friend, Daniel Kwanzaa, which I'm so grateful. I stayed with him for a year, with two of us living in one bedroom. I gave up a lot of things so that I could pursue this dream. So the little capital you have, a budget camera, sometimes it's something ranges between 1,000 Ghana cedis and 2,000 Ghana cedis. You can save towards that, and when you get that, your question will be that, my question when I got my camera was, will I be watching movies whilst I have this camera? So every time I wake up in the morning, it was a run for me. It was a game day. It was always preparing for that, always going and doing the stories. And the hardest part is that doing the stories, nobody sent you. I went to Kenya by myself. No one sent me. No one asked me to go. But I knew the essence of getting a body of work or getting content. When I met Brandon, I had something prepared. I always say that when preparation meets opportunity, it's called luck. All my preparation of doing this, the books, Brandon did not know the books. I didn't tell him till the last minute when he found out that I was collecting these books. And I think that if I didn't have these books, I don't think I would have gotten these donations.
Because you showed seriousness, the whole story, your preparedness, the things you had already put in place were rolling, and people could see that you were invested in the project. Because if you're not invested, it's going to be hard for people to help you to actualize the dream. Let me just put out the phone lines again. Sorry. So the phone lines 0550 331511. Again, 0550 331511. We also have 020-4738-481. There's 020-4738-481. Also, Paul, let me just take a contribution from someone who's also joined on Zoom. Edward is also a photographer. Now, Edward, if you can hear me, please unmute yourself. What would this photography library mean for photographers in Ghana? Edward, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Now, I was asking what this photo library will mean for photographers like you and others in Ghana.
Well, I think that's basically one of the key things that, even as a country, we not lack, but it's the agency to do more research. Because I think that research adds on to what we already know. It adds up value to what we already know. And so if you have, you want to have a center or you want to have a building or a place where you can do research, you can learn from others, we can always become, go to the center and be equipped with the necessary skills that we need. I think that what it will do, that it will add onto our knowledge base, because in photography, one thing I've learned is that you can't know virtually everything. You might know things, but you meet someone and the person might know much more than you know, or know something that you do not know. So I think that in a country where research is a must for us, in a country like Ghana where research is important, which can help us to become better people, I think that most importantly, it adds value to us, because the center will add value to what we want to do as an individual. And it betters our lives as individuals, because photography is not just taking pictures, it's an art, it's a relationship, it's understanding people, it's understanding.
Hey, what did you say?
Emotions, it's understanding.
It's a relationship, right?
Yes, it's a relationship. You have a relationship with the camera, so it's a relationship.
I do have a relationship with my phone, I agree.
So yes, so it's a relationship. Sometimes you may not even be in the mood, but you hold your camera and you can take some pictures, and you wonder how you're able to take such pictures and all. So I think that the center will become a research hub that would really help us, especially in this country. Ghana. If you know how, just like Paul is saying, most of us have had to learn aggressively on our own. Yes, exactly.
Eddie, do you have any question for Paul?
Pardon?
Do you have a question for Paul?
I was going to ask a question, but I think it's already been asked about the camera to be used for videos.
Okay.
I think Timothy asked that question. But then let me ask this question: What for him. Paul, what do you think is your niche? What's that one thing that you think makes you stand out from any other people? Because I've seen your pictures. I've seen people who do maybe similar pictures, and I'm sure maybe some people will even take better, if I can use the word. But what do you think is that X factor for you? That's niche that is helping you become who you are now.
I think one of the things was preparedness. But Paul, please take the question.
So thank you so much. Again, my brother, and thank you for the question. You have to read. Reading, I read a lot. So when I started photography, I was reading a book called Blue Ocean Strategy. It's one of the popular business books. Why would a photographer be reading business book? It's because we need to know. And the Blue Ocean Strategy it made me understand that, there's a red ocean where everybody is. And today, a lot of photographers are doing weddings. When I started, there's so many photographers, editing, the value proposition was, oh, he's a top photographer doing wedding. But the next 5 years, would you continue to be a top photographer? And what is your niche? So for me, I understood in the early stages that there's somebody like my brother who may the Lord, may his soul rest in peace, Bob Pixel, who is a top photographer in areas which I can never beat him in that. I just came into the scene. There's Yao Pare, there's Roger, there's all these people, which I cannot beat them in the game because they are so experienced. And so how do I differentiate myself from them? So I understood that in the beginning, and which helped me a lot. So if you see my content, I could say that maybe probably in the Ghana scene, my content might be different from a lot of people. I have varieties. I have Kenya, I have Tanzania, I have Ethiopia, so easily I've set myself apart from a lot of people. So find your niche, find the stories which has not been told, find the different path, which is uncomfortable, but easily be noticed when you find it. Because if everybody is doing weddings, doing frequency separation, color grading, the next big young kid come on the block and he's also doing the same thing you're doing. And what will be the differentiation, the value proposition, why somebody should hire you? Always ask yourself, why should someone hire you? And that was my thing, which I did, which now it's easy for me to be identified.
Interesting. Very interesting answer. Oh, I want to go back to the question of location for Decan Center. This is a question that people are very interested in, and we keep receiving messages about that. What is going to make you decide that this is the place where you're siting Decan Center? Are you still thinking of siting it in Accra or outside Accra?
I'm open. I'm listening. I'm open to all options. Again, if you have a land for me, offer it to me.
Okay.
And my team. If you have a land, if you have a property that you think that, because look, in US, Amazon was looking for a second headquarters. And 16 states in the United States was pitching for it and lobbying for it. There was a whole campaign which was going on. And New York won that. And they wanted to site it on New York because people gave them favorable tax cuts and all that, favorable deals, and all that. It's a non-profit, we don't make money out of it. So every money, and again, I'm a responsible person. Every dollar which was contributed to it, I'll make sure that money is being used into good use. It's people's money, it's not my money. And if such privilege is given to you, you have to be accountable for it. So if someone is out there, a rich person or a chief who see the sense in what I'm trying to do, and it's not just a library, we're thinking about residency, we're thinking about other things. So if you think that it would be beneficial, and now my Instagram is flooded with people saying, I want to come to Ghana, I want to visit the center. Right. If people come, where would they sleep? In a hotel. Is a hotel located in Pampam would be beneficial and economical reason for you. So I'm opening it out there. As you ask me the location, you make an offer.
That's interesting. I see the other amenities are also an important contribution. You mentioned already that you have an architect you're working with, your best friend from UST, you said. Do you have any others, or are you looking for any other contributions from that area?
Yes. A lady reached out to me today. You see, that is what I love about these things. People reaching out to me. There's a lady who reached out to me 2 days ago. Right now, she's assistant. She's interning with us. She's volunteering with us. She's getting an experience, and I will make sure that she will get everything she needs in life in terms of learning from us. I'll open all the books for her to learn, and this is somebody who is willing to learn. She reach out, and that's the willingness, So yes, this thing I'm just using it to help other people. So if somebody's out there and think that she's a librarian, who is a IT person, an architect, and also we are non-profit, so we're looking to maximize what we can. There's a lady
who
reached out to me.
As much volunteership as possible.
Exactly. Somebody reached out to me who is an electrical engineer. We're considering her. She'll be part of the team immediately. So we open to such contribution, and email me. My team is very responsive. So you send it to me. Hey, this is what I can contribute, and that is the reason why it's called Decan. You take the lead. I take the lead, and we can solve this together.
I see one of the things Eddie mentioned earlier was photography is an art. Do you think there's enough appreciation of photography as an art form locally?
To some extent, yes, and to some extent, no. Why? Because a lot of people are taking pictures, so there's appreciation. A lot of people are posting more on Instagram. My little sister posts so much. Sometimes it's like she just loved taking pictures. Whenever she wanted to hang out with me, she wanted me to take pictures. So even in that small way, there's this appreciation. But how do we bring it to the larger scale? To display these people, and again, that is why Decan Center, after education, we go to content distribution. How do we, help young photographers like Eddie, Timo, to show his work? Timo is not asking for $1 million. He's looking for a platform to showcase his work. How do we teach such a person, to showcase his work and be able to make money? New York alone and this side of the world, copyright sells a lot, and that is how people make money. So if we can teach the business, bring the business people and the economic people in the same room with photographers and filmmakers, I think that we could find a solution in Ghana which works for everyone.
And I see you also have openings for people who are not even photographers. You mentioned an electrical engineer, an architect. So people who are not photographers can reach out to you and still be a part of the project.
Yes, please. Yes.
Can journalists reach out?
Yeah, of course. One of the things I'm trying to do is look. So imagine a journalist and a data scientist and Eddie, who is a photographer and a filmmaker, in the same room. How can we help each other? Things. Your text and Eddie's videos. Because most of the reason why some photographers are not able to reach certain levels is that they cannot write. That is the truth. They cannot pitch stories to other places. So if two of us, you know how to write very well, I know how to take pictures. So if we can combine together and pitch to New York Times, that is a lot right there. So I think that these are some of the conversations that we can all bring to the same room and be able to have these conversations. I'm just trying to solve a problem. I'm trying to.
And that's how great things happen anyway. Looking to solve problem that you have identified. There's another lady on Zoom who I'm just going to take a question from. I want to find out from her. She has a question for you. Lebanon Mawudo is on the line. I want to find out if she has any questions for Paul. Please unmute yourself if you can hear me. Hello? Right. Apparently she's dropped the question inbox.
Hello.
My producer, yes.
Hi.
Yes, please proceed.
Yes, I was finding out, I was asking Paul if he was mentoring women, but I think he answered in your question earlier.
Okay, he's mentoring women specifically. Paul, they are bringing you a gender angle there.
Volunteering or volunteering.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So the thing is that I'm very fortunate to have my mother. I just don't know how a life I'll be with her. When I was a kid, my mother used to tell me, when a woman cooks, it get ready. When a man cooks, it gets ready. So in a house, the role was shared, not according to our gender in the house. Every time I complain about my role of the job my mother is giving to me, it get increased. So at a younger age, I knew that I have to help be in that situation. We are having a policy, we're having a program for just women and young girls, filmmaking. Because today, if I look into Ghana, I cannot boast of a lot of filmmakers who are female. I cannot boast of a lot of photographers who are female. I see one of the wonderful photographers who is a sports photographer. She's doing amazing work. How do we mentor a lot of them? My daughter is a girl, so if as a father, I cannot take the lead in helping young people, then I think I'm a disappointment. So even my staff is 50-50. We have a policy, a recruiting policy that the room has to be filled with 50 women, 50 men.
Interesting. So we have the SDGs right in there, 50-50. Let me go to the lines where we have Frimpong. Frimpong wants to ask a question. Hello, Frimpong. Hello, Frimpong. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, hello. Let's hear you, please.
Yes, my name is Vincent.
Oh,
yes,
right.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, Vincent, please go ahead.
Yes, I think, Paul, I don't know if you remember Vincent, but Paul, this is Sniper from Kumasi Academy. Yes, I've been following your distance for quite a while now, and I'm so happy because, I'm also an artist. That is so cool, Paul. I know you are smiling, yeah. And then I had to school some people on Facebook because they don't believe that this art can change a lot in Ghana and in the art world as well. So you are doing a great job. Maybe I'll see you in the US because I also had admission to University of Arkansas to pursue MFA in ceramics. So sure, we in this together. We in this together, and then we hope
Thank
to do
you
a
so
whole
much,
lot
Vincent.
in the art for this. I know there are a lot of grants, and then I also want to one day to just follow your lead because.
Thank you.
Got your back, Paul.
Thank
you very much
Thank you.
for whatever that you're doing, and then we support you a lot, Paul. Okay.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. I'm
Thank
grateful.
you, Vincent. Vincent's just happy to see his old colleague, acquaintance, classmates winning. That's great there. At least it gives you a lot of motivation, doesn't it, to see that so many people are supporting you. There's another caller from Kumasi who wants to speak. Hello. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, please. Let's hear you. Your name and where exactly you're calling from.
Okay, I am Ernest. I'm speaking from Kumasi.
Okay.
I am here to thank Paul for the first issue for uplifting Ghana and Africa at large in the sense of photography and how to put Africa on the map. Actually, it was about 3 days ago that I saw his post all over. A white friend of mine posted his stuff on, I think, every month of New York or something like that.
Yes.
A magazine. And I was very impressed when I saw what he's having in mind to do and then trying to do that in Ghana. I was so much impressed. And we here down here want to learn a lot from him. I'm a climate activist, and I do a lot of things around waste management, recycling, and how people could even understand circular economy.
Okay.
So I'm very grateful for the Decan Center coming right here to Ghana for some of us to learn and then to impact others who are willing to also adapt into this photography and the whole momentum of moving Africa forward to the world. I'm very grateful, and I'm thanking Paul for this opportunity that he's trying to put himself into.
Thank you so much for that call.
Thank you.
Paul, how do people reach you? I see there's a lot of clamoring on the lines. Beyond, the program is going to end. How can they get in touch with you?
So currently I have a website, which is decancenter.org. You can easily send a message through that. We have our inbox, emails there. And personally, I'm such an open person. I have my email, which is photo@paulninson.com. Photo@paulninson.com. Send me an email.
PHOTO. Photo.
Yes, please.
@paulninson.com. That's his email. Send Paul a message, especially the old friends who just want to give fans. You can also send messages for those who want to partner with him, those who want to give new ideas. But Paul, I noticed in your submission, you said Decan Center is not the end of it, and you could consider even some of the offers for offshoot projects that are related to the Decan Center. Are you thinking of citing in like multiple places, different like branches of the same center?
Yes, so the point is that my goal, I wish I was rich, I wish I had,
Don't we all?
yeah, I wish I had 5 billion somewhere. I would easily duplicate this in every district in Ghana. Partner with the library board, partner with the government of Ghana, partner with the non-profit, partner with anybody who is willing and see this. Again, I'm building a system. I'm not just building a center. I'm building a system that can be easily duplicated. I'm even considering right now, I've gotten a lot of donation. I've personally bought cameras, second-hand cameras, which will be teaching photography to young kids, summer program, after school programs, and other things. So if I can be able to use this to spring to different districts in Ghana, that would be the joy of my life. Even right now, people in 2 countries reached out, want me to help in a way that they could have something like this. And I'm surprised that they want me to have it in their country, aside my country. So it's easy to get it.
At least you can help them build their own thing in their own country. So it's not that we're taking Decan Center to another country. At this point, we've whipped up the attention of enough Ghanaians who want it in Ghana. I'm going to go back to Zoom, find out if any of those tuned in has any question. Theo, Eddie, Lebby, there's Eddie. Who else is on the line? Is there a question you have for Paul?
I think somebody asked me who is my banker, who's going to receive the funds.
So it means there are some relationship managers from banks who are interested. Yes. Paul, who is your local banker? Who is getting the money?
The person who is going to donate and contribute to it will get all the money. And actually, we're trying.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart.
If you don't contribute, I don't think that I'd rather keep the money in US than to bring it to Ghana. So if you're a bank out there and you want to contribute, then you have my money. And we're still raising money. We're still raising money in US and in Ghana. I think Anita also has a question.
They're still raising money, please. So if you have money to give to Decan Center, please, there's a GoFundMe page for it. You can also go to decancenter.org, or you can just email Paul at photo. Okay, great. Now, we have Anita raising her hand there on the line. Anita, would you like to say something?
Yeah. My question was, is it purely a photography center alone, or is it a library for all types of learning to happen?
Right. So I'm just going to go over, I don't know if you tuned in at the beginning, but I went over some of the parts that they're going to have in the center. So there's going to be a modern library, a courtyard, there's a photo and film studio, there's a theater gallery, event space, outdoor exhibition yard, archival rooms, storage, classrooms, center for kids and teens, media center, and several offices. But Paul, please add to that.
So Anita, thank you for the question. I think there's a lot of libraries in Ghana, but this one is a specific library for media.
Not really. Ghana doesn't have that many libraries. It's very hard to find a library not attached to a school.
Anita, this one they're going to get me into trouble. I think that Anita now, okay, let me be honest with you. I can only do much, that is why it's called Decan. I want other people to also take the lead. I think that, I've sparked a conversation among a lot of people who are like, we need to do something. Even around my African Americans or Ghanaians who are living in US. Everybody, like I've been here only for 2 years, and there's so much resources in US. And, so now I'm doing all the media, videos, photography, archives. But pray for me, pray for me. Maybe probably in the future I can support other organizations to have these books, because I'm in the book space. I have a lot of contacts in the book space who will be willing to come on board and, spread this love around Ghana. And Anita, maybe probably in your small space, we can donate about 500 books, and we can all start this together. So I'm open to that as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anita, and thank you, Paul, for responding to that. We don't have much time. I think we have about a minute more. But, Paul, if you could just round it up for us, give us the future of photography as you see it, and then if you can just put out your email again and other ways of contacting you.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here. You know, even if it's 5 people listening, you know, I think that my goal is to motivate somebody out there that we all can do this. You know, I have sometimes when I'm down, when packing books all by myself, I break my back like twice. And this song, Ghana Maya Me Mai, Ghana Man So Ya Oh My, it was my favorite song. You know, it motivates me a lot. The country is ours, is for everyone. You know, it's not just for me. I'm grateful for all the response from Ghanaians. I'm grateful for the response from every media person. And whoever is out there, Anita, I'll be looking out for you. Eddie and Timo, I'll be waiting for your emails. Everyone, let's all do this together. It's not for me.
Trust me, there'll be more people emailing you than just those ones. But yes, the email address again.
It's photo@poninson.com or info@decancenter.org. You know, it's open to everyone who want to email, and then we'll talk.
Thank you so much, Paul. We're so grateful for coming on Spotlight. And thank you for serving as such a huge inspiration and a source of pride for so many Ghanaians this week. Not just Ghanaians. I have friends in the US who contacted me asking for the link to this interview. All of them want to listen. All of them are picking something from it. And so you have done a huge thing. Even for nothing, you've already uplifted a lot of people and influenced them. There are people listening in Tamale who have been excited by your story and who have been inspired, more importantly. So we are hoping that everyone can follow suit as you, Decan. We can also Decan, and they will contact you. We'll also be letting some people in who call to ask for your information. So thank you. Have a great evening and all the best with Decan Center. Bye-bye.